Hello, this is Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I am using the Robin Wood Tarot. And this is one of my oldest decks that I have. This was actually one of the first decks. I don't know if this was the second or the third tarot deck I bought, but this is one of the decks I learned on. So I'm excited to be reading with it once again. So I'm going to draw 3 cards for our upcoming week. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. And my intention, as always, is to get some fresh ideas, insights, and inspiration into the week ahead, and hopefully some advice as to how we can make the most of the upcoming energies. Get my crystals centered here. Very important. Okay, so let's just zoom in a little. And I'm going to start with the first card. Now, if you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like, leave me a comment. It really helps my channel out. Okay, so the card we have for the beginning of the week is Judgment, and I'm just going to position it differently so it stands up a little straighter. Okay, so we have Judgment for the beginning of the week, kind of Monday, Tuesday-ish. Now, Judgment is a very, very powerful major arcana card. It is perhaps, I don't want to say the most powerful one, but it feels significant here. There is a real phoenix rising from the flames energy with this card. And this is there's very much like this new burst of energy at the beginning of the week. And it's really exciting to see this card at the beginning of the week, because it shows that we'll be starting our week out with quite a powerful burst of energy. So Judgment is all about stepping into a new chapter, a new phase. This really highlights your ability to recreate yourself and recreate your life and kind of give your life as it is a bit of a makeover. And makeover even doesn't sound, makeover is giving your life a makeover, that even sounds too mundane and not very powerful, because this is more than just giving your life a makeover. There is a real transformation underway with the Judgment card. Whatever you have gone through in your past, it's acted like flames that have kind of forged you in a certain way, and you are rising from those flames victorious. So what that means in a day-to-day kind of way, in a more digestible kind of way, is that you may find that the things that have maybe held you back or weighed you down in the past, those things aren't having such a hold on you anymore. And you might feel this almost a call to more freedom. There's a feeling of freedom with this card, almost a rebelliousness, the way she's leaping out of those flames. Her arms are raised, kind of a Y shape. There is a real openness with this card. This is about saying yes to life, saying yes to things, and believing in yourself that you are able to create change, you're able to reinvent yourself, you're able to step into that new phase of life with that feeling of like having a zest for life. That's kind of what I'm getting with Judgment. Now, traditionally, the Judgment card is about having an awakening, maybe having an epiphany, seeing things from a different perspective, a bigger perspective. And I see that here too with this card, but really I feel like this card is about like finding our wings and finding our power at the beginning of the week. A question I have for you, and if you like journaling and reflecting and things like that, this is a question, this is sort of a prompt to ponder. If you could give your life a makeover, if you could recreate yourself, what would you do? What would you change? What would you do differently? If you're going to, get a magic wand, wave it over your life and reinvent yourself, reinvent your life, what kinds of changes would you make? What would you start with? Even if you just come up with one thing, it doesn't have to be big. It could be something small. But that's the question to ponder as you step into your week. And then as we get into the week, Wednesday, Thursday-ish, we have the Two of Wands. Now this is interesting because Two of Wands energy is kind of saying the world is your oyster, even if it might not feel like it. The world is your oyster. Your life is your oyster. And you get to decide where you put your energy and what you put your focus on, what you put your attention on. Things are going to happen around you, things unfold, and you don't always have control over that. You don't have control over what other people do or how the dominoes fall or whatever. Like things unfold, things happen. You don't have control over all of that, but you do have control over what you put your attention on and where you're going to focus your energy. Your energy and your attention is sacred, and we forget this all the time. I forget this all the time. But your attention and your focus and your energy is sacred, and you get to decide what you focus that on. You get to decide where you put your focus and how you use your energy. So the kinds of things that you get riled up about, the kind of things that you feel strong emotion towards, the things that you put your heart into, your heart and soul, the things that matter to you, those are all kind of choices that you make. And so the Two of Wands is saying this week, especially midweek, make sure you pause and breathe and ask yourself, where am I putting my energy right now? And what do I want to put my energy into? Do I want to keep doing things as I'm doing them? Is that working? Or do I want to pivot? How can I focus my energy and my time and my presence in a way that is in alignment with what it is that I want to create? And just connecting the Two of Wands with the Judgment card. These are both very empowering cards, by the way. But connecting these two, Judgment is about kind of figuring out, what is this new phase that you're stepping into? You're sort of leaving the old you behind. You've cast off your costume. The woman in this card is nude. So she's cast off her costume. What new chapter, what new phase are you stepping into? The old you is behind you, and every new day is a day that you're stepping into your new self. And the Two of Wands is saying, how can you focus your energy and your attention so that it's in alignment with this new you that you're stepping into? And so to kind of read the Two of Wands in a more kind of down-to-earth way, it's like, pay attention to what kinds of things you're doing in your day-to-day life, what kind of actions you're taking, what you're spending time on, what you're getting emotional about or riled up over, what you're really focused on, what you're preoccupied with, where's your energy going, and really being aware of that. Last card, this is for the end of the week, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday-ish, and we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups, and she's kind of in a similar posture to the Two of Wands. Both of these figures are at the ocean. They're kind of on a beach. They're looking out at the water. They're looking out at the horizon. They're both holding something in their right hand. Two of Wands is holding the earth. And Queen of Cups is holding a cup with a kind of transparent handkerchief over it, so it's kind of mysterious. And that cup is like emanating light and energy. And they're both kind of facing in the same kind of direction. So I think that's interesting that these two cards are actually very similar. So Queen of Cups, what is she all about? She is all about working with your heart, working with your emotions, and your capacity to feel. Now, what the Queen of Cups is telling me here is that your connection, your ability to connect with your heart and your capacity to feel emotion, your capacity to pick up on others' emotions and to be able to empathize and be compassionate, that is a real superpower this week. And she's saying, don't overlook this. This is really important. So working with your emotions this week and being able to sit and hold a space for them. And actually, the Two of Wands is very similar in that he is kind of pausing and he's holding a space for something. He's like holding a space for himself to, ponder and contemplate and decide what he's going to put his energy into. Queen of Cups is doing something very similar. She's holding a space for her emotions and her feelings and her heart. And there's a connection between these two cards. Now I'm seeing why these two are connected. I'm like, there's got to be a connection because there's so many similarities in them. I see what it is now. You might not be able to get clarity on where you're going to put your energy and attention next until you connect with your heart. So your heart has to be involved in this decision-making process. And I think this whole week is about transformation, making changes, some big, some small, and realigning ourselves with what our soul purpose is, and basically kind of realigning ourselves with a higher purpose and a greater, a greater dimension or a greater frequency. It's like we're kind of getting an upgrade this week. And Queen of Cups is saying your heart has to be involved in this. So there's a connection between, connecting with your heart, connecting with your emotions, your feelings, really holding a space of figuring out what is in my heart, what does my heart want, what are my heart's desires, and connecting that to your decisions around where you're going to put your energy. So that decision about, okay, how am I going to direct my energy this week? What am I going to focus on? It can't just be an intellectual decision. Your heart has to get involved in that decision as well. So this is a week for holding a space for yourself. It's a week for contemplation, and it's a week for pausing, sitting with your feelings, sitting with your emotions, being observant, noticing, what feelings are coming up for you this week. What desires does your heart hold? How are you using your energy right now? And how do you want to use your energy in the future? Like, all of these things are worth contemplating and kind of sitting with this week. And Judgment is just such a powerful card. And actually, I'm just noticing that the wings behind her, the wings of the phoenix, look very similar to this seashell. Oh, and there's my kitty Merlina, and she's chiming in and she's saying she agrees. She's like, yes, good observation. So there's kind of an interesting connection between those two cards. And even the rays of light that are emanating from the cup, we see rays of light in the background. So lots going on here. So I think that this is a week where there is a lot of potential here to transform the self and to shed old habits and old ways of being and old ways of moving through your day and moving through your life and reinventing yourself, recreating your life, giving yourself a major makeover. But the key to doing this, it's not just about doing things differently or rearranging the furniture or whatever. It's not just about getting a new outfit. It's about changing how you use your energy and connecting with your heart more deeply and connecting with your emotions and feelings more deeply. And that is going to be kind of the fuel that moves you forward in this journey of transformation. So that has been my weekly card reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated. I hope it made sense. And my cat really wants me to let her outside into the yard. So I'm going to go and let her out. But I want you to share with me in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this reading. Did it make sense? Do you have a different take on the cards? Feel free to share in the comments. And of course, please like, subscribe if you enjoyed this. I post these videos every week. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an excellent week.